Now at 10 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, 2 women arrested at a massage parlor in Victoria.
A 22-year-old man from Houston in the Victoria County Jail facing charges of human smuggling.
And the Texas state school voucher bill hits the Senate floor.
We've got clouds and light rain. Where is it all coming from? It's coming from some tropical storms on the west coast of Mexico. We'll have all the latest for you coming up.
Plus, the Bloomington Bobcats with a golden opportunity. Catch their story in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
Victoria Police Department Special Crimes Unit conducted an investigation on North Navarro this afternoon.
With the help of the Victoria County Sheriff's Office Special Crimes Unit, they made 2 arrests at this massage parlor. 25 News Now reporter Darius McCormick has more.
Those arrests were directly associated with the activities conducted at China Massage on North Navarro. VPD charged 50-year-old Su Yu Wang and 40-year-old Wen Ken Lin. Wang was charged with indecent assault, which refers to allegations of unwanted and inappropriate physical contact. Her bail set for $2,000. And Lin was charged with prostitution. Her bail set for $500. As for now, the investigation is ongoing. We'll continue to update as information is provided. Don, Karina, back to you.
Darius, thank you. Amber alert tonight. 2 girls abducted in Tyler. They are 7-year-old Audrey Lee and 9-year-old Ella Lee. The suspect, 33-year-old Chase Lee. Authorities looking for a white 2007 Chevrolet Avalanche. Call 911 with information.
A human smuggling suspect is now in the Victoria County Jail. Monday, the DPS arrested 22-year-old Emilio Guillermo Osuna of Houston and Kennedy. It started with a traffic stop. Osuna faces 4 charges of human smuggling. He's in jail in lieu of a $40,000 bond.
18-year-old Jordan Renee Pena, Victoria, in court today on a bond warrant. He's charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Pena in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $100,000 bond. Early this morning, Hallettsville police arrested 51-year-old Aubrey Lucen Barnes of Hallettsville. After a chase, Barnes taken into custody on charges of evading in a vehicle, evading on foot, and driving while his license was invalid with a prior conviction. Barnes in the Lavaca County Jail in lieu of $20,000 bond.
President Joe Biden addressed the nation today following the terrorist attack by Hamas in Israel. Over 900 people were killed, and the Israeli response has taken more than 800 Palestinian lives in the Gaza.
After speaking with Israel's prime minister earlier today, President Biden promised unwavering support to Israel. The Pentagon has already delivered critically needed military equipment to that country.
We stand with Israel.
President Joe Biden addressing the nation after the weekend attack on Israel by the terrorist group Hamas and expressing the country's unwavering support for Israel.
The bloody hands of the terrorist organization Hamas, a group whose stated purpose for being is to kill Jews. This was an act of sheer evil.
The president's support for Israel, one of America's closest allies, follows dozens of rallies and vigils across the country in support of Israel. From the White House to Beverly Hills, California, to a candlelight vigil in Florida honoring the many innocent lives lost. Hundreds have been killed in Israel and hundreds more Palestinians have been killed in Gaza. Thousands have been injured on both sides. The president sharing that at least 14 American citizens were killed during the Hamas terror attack. The mother of one missing U.S. citizen says her son was taken by Hamas with a group of others attending a music festival.
They were fish in a barrel, sitting in this bomb shelter. Terrorists came to the door. They were throwing grenades in, shooting machine guns.
The Pentagon says the U.S. is offering support to Israel's Special Operations Forces.
We're surging additional military assistance, including ammunition and interceptors, to replenish Iron Dome. We're going to make sure that Israel does not run out of these critical assets to defend its cities and its citizens.
The Department of Defense announced a second carrier strike group with several warships will be deployed to the region, along with the number of F-15 and F-35 fighter jets being increased in the Middle East. Melissa Don, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Governor Greg Abbott ordered state flags to be lowered as a sign of honor and respect for the more than 2,000 victims killed in the Israel-Hamas war. The governor said all Texas flags on state buildings, facilities, and offices are ordered to have staff immediately to, quote, honor those who lost their lives during the heinous acts of war carried out against Israel and its people, which also killed Americans in Israel. Flags can return to full staff at sunset on Saturday, October 14th.
Let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis, and we are getting some rain from that hurricane that hit the west coast of Mexico. Not much rain, but some.
Not much. It's not going to be anything significant. However, as you can see, we've got quite a bit of cloud cover and little light rain that continues moving through the area. I believe that this is the pattern that we'll have all night long, so it's going to be damp and slick on the roadways in the morning hours. All of this activity coming from way down south off the west coast of Mexico as the storm sort of moves on shore. You can see how the heaviest rain has already occurred down in the Laredo area. We'll have more details on how long this is going to last coming up in a moment. Stay tuned.
Mac, thank you. Lavaca County commissioners extended the burn ban there this Tuesday afternoon. The burn ban is now extended for at least another week. Lavaca County has not had enough rain to lower the drought index to a safe level for burning. The burn ban was put into effect in Lavaca County July 10th.
The Tri-City Empowerment Council plans to celebrate 75 years of the Dole School this weekend. Dole School served as the first school for African Americans in Cuero. Now the community plans to celebrate its legacy this weekend. The Tri-City Empowerment Council will host a banquet honoring teachers, students, and administrators from the school at Chisholm Heritage Trail Museum. Then they will host the second annual Gospel Fest this Saturday after the Turkey Fest parade in Cuero. The council starting with these celebrations, but they have big plans on the way.
We want to take it and utilize it as a resource center. We want to make sure that those that would not be able to do some of the things that others do, we're making sure that they have that avenue.
They plan to reopen the building as a recreation center geared towards children. The building will include a gym, STEM program, and much more. The Tri-City Empowerment Council still in the beginning phases of the funding process. The council confident that the Dole School will reopen and serve the community again.
A state Senate committee has passed a school choice bill to the full Texas Senate. Senate Bill 1 would allow families to leave the state's public education system access to $8,000 of taxpayer money each year to pay for private schooling. Critics argue it's wrong to use tax dollars to help parents put their children in private schools when the money could help provide public schools money. The Texas State Teachers Association says vouchers would defund the public school system. Supporters of the idea say it gives parents a choice on where they can send their child to school.
A school voucher bill is a priority for Governor Abbott this special session. KXAN reports a poll by the Texas Politics Project shows 60% of poll respondents, both Republicans and Democrats, said school safety should be a top priority. And here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. Here's the question. Do you support the school voucher bill? Yes or no? Let's look at the numbers. 42% of the voters say yes. 58% of the voters say no. That is a much closer vote than it was at 6 o'clock. Yes, we thank you so much for voting. We want to hear your opinion on this. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part.
Victoria College held a college fair at the Emerging Technology Complex. More than 560 students showed up from 12 area high schools. Students learned more about the application process from the colleges, universities, and technical schools.
What they're going to do after they graduate high school. We have 12 area high schools in attendance with about 560 plus students currently in the event. And we have technical schools, universities and colleges, as well as military branches. So there's a little bit here for everybody, and we're excited to see what they do next.
In Texas, about 50% of high school graduates enter college in the summer or fall right after graduation.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so when you're on YouTube, you can get us at Crossroads Today. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10. One person dead after a shooting at an adult education school in South Carolina.
Also ahead, an Arkansas librarian fired after refusing to remove, quote, inappropriate books.
Hi, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs with the Victoria Police Department. Victoria Crime Stoppers is seeking information about an unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. The Victoria Police Department is requesting assistance in identification of a Hispanic male subject which was caught on surveillance video. The male subject appeared to have facial hair and tattoos on both arms. The suspect was carrying a dark-colored backpack and wearing a silver-colored watch. This crime occurred on August 13, 2023, at a business at the 1300 block of East Crestwood Drive. If you have any information about this unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. You can also submit a tip by using the P3 Tip app on your Android or Apple device, or by visiting our website at www.crimestoppersvictoria.com. All tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to an arrest or charges being filed, you can earn a cash reward. With the Victoria Police Department, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs.
Is dead after a shooting at an adult education school in Darlington, South Carolina. Police were called to the adult education campus at 12:30 this afternoon for a report of a shooting. The school district said the student was shot while in the parking lot and was taken to a hospital where he later died from his injuries. The student's name was not released. The Darlington Police Department said there wasn't an immediate threat to the surrounding area. Now, an Arkansas library director was fired by a county judge.
Now, this comes months after she publicly refused to comply with a county government mandate to remove what some called inappropriate books from the library's children's section.
That led the court to seize oversight of the whole library.
Been very stressful. It's been hard to do my job, but the staff we've just kept plugging along, and I always thought any day now I'll be fired.
Former Saline County Library Director Patricia Hector says on Monday, County Judge Matt Brumley called for a meeting and fired her.
Brumley and the HR director came and said my services were no longer needed.
Now, I'm all for the resolution, but in my opinion, it's not enough. I want this crap out.
Back in April, the Saline County Quorum Court made a resolution to remove certain books from the children's section in the county library. a decision Hector believes should be up to parents.
What they did is terrible for this county. And it's none of their business what books people read. And since they challenged 3 of them, one of them was race and 2 of them were about LGBTQ.
In August, the Quorum Court passed an ordinance to allow Brumley to oversee the library board, but they did not fire Hector at the time. She says despite the billboards, months of scrutiny, and 94 requests, her staff still did their job.
Yeah, I said before I would rather be fired for upholding the First Amendment instead of sued for violating it. Shame on you. You made it personal. It should not have been personal. All those pastors that were out there telling their members to go complain about the library, you didn't come talk to me first, you know? Nobody pretty much ever came and talked to the library staff.
Hector says after 38 years of public service, she has no desire to come back and says legal action will ensue.
You know, you can't fire somebody for upholding the law. And I have an attorney.
Utah has joined a growing list of states to file a lawsuit against TikTok, claiming the social media company is luring children into unhealthy habits. It specifically cites public health concerns and refers to research suggesting children who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media have a higher risk of anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. TikTok did not comment on the lawsuit. The U.S. Supreme Court will hear questions on whether attempts to regulate social media platforms violate the Constitution. New parents have much to learn during a baby's first year about keeping them healthy and safe.
Experts say that starts with a good nutrition, a safe home environment, on-time medical/dental care, and car safety.
When possible, breastfeeding is considered the best method for early infant feeding, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics. At 6 months, introduce healthy, solid foods such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, pasteurized dairy, and proteins. Be sure to avoid certain foods that pose health risks to your baby, like honey, sugary drinks, cow's milk, and unpasteurized dairy, and caffeinated beverages before 12 months. A safe home environment starts with keeping your baby away from secondhand smoke and maintaining sleep safety. Babies should be placed on their backs on a firm, flat surface. Experts also recommend keeping your sleeping baby in the same room where you sleep, at least for the first 6 months. Well-child visits at the doctor's office ensure that your baby is growing the right amount for their age. They also receive vaccinations that are vital to preventing serious diseases. Good oral health starts with wiping your baby's gums twice daily and brushing twice daily once teeth start to come in. And when driving with your baby, make sure they are properly buckled in a rear-facing car seat with a harness in the back seat. With this Medical Minute, I'm Justin Finch, ABC News.
Homes in Central Texas are being built with emerging 3D technology. You can read this story by the Texas Tribune on our CrossroadsToday.com website.
Well, good evening, everybody. It's down here off the coast of Mexico. We have Hurricane Lydia. It is coming ashore as a strong storm, but it's going to run into some big mountains. And as that falls apart, all that moisture is streaming up into our neighborhood. We'll be talking about rain. It'll be with us tomorrow. Then we'll take a look at the weekend because that's going to clear up nicely. All that coming up in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. It's 68 degrees out there. You probably driving around, you see all the little drops here and there. It has not been anything heavy. We managed to get up to 78 this afternoon with all the cloud cover, but we're going to stay, shall we say, on the damp side of things. Our average temperature this time of year is 84, so we just don't do anything average around here. Here's what we're talking about. All the moisture that you see is coming from the south. It's all thick moisture coming up over the mountains into Texas, and when it gets over here, we get a little light rain out of it, but most of the real heavy stuff has been actually south of us. Here's an indication that the last 12 hours, we've had, fairly light rain over most of the crossroads, but as you look a little farther south, you can see how the heavy stuff is from the Refugio area right down 59 all the way to Laredo, where they seem to have had about 2 inches of rain down there. So somebody's getting some good rainfall. It's even, it's widespread, and it's not coming down with any thunder or lightning. Now tomorrow we're going to still be in the soupy situation, so we're looking for a high of only 78 degrees. The rest of the state also on the mild side of things. At least we're not in the 90s anymore. We can say goodbye to that. But here's what we're talking about. This is Lydia. Lydia is actually the second system. There was another one here called Tropical Storm Max. That fell apart. In fact, Max is probably over us right now. But you can see the deep deck of clouds right about here. As it moves onshore and falls apart fairly rapidly, leftovers are going to be coming up to our area. We also have this area of low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico. Both of those will be moving to the northeast, and you can tell very easily why. You follow these lines. Now, these are the upper winds. They're flowing in this direction. So it's not going to go north. It's going to go almost due northeast. And both of these will actually combine to bring heavy rainfall to much of the Gulf Coast from Florida over to Louisiana. So we're not really involved in that one. In fact, they could have significant rainfall, probably 2 to 4 inches out of this activity coming. But then all of a sudden, here's the good news. We get another dry frontal system coming in on Friday night, and that's going to make it very nice as we get into the weekend. Now, the solar eclipse on Saturday, the 10th of October, all these states in yellow are the ones that are going to be able to see something. And here's the path of totality is what they call it, or annual. This is where you get the best view, okay? And it's going to come right through our neighborhood. How about that? Pretty nice. All right, so let's take a look at your forecast for those of you in Port Lavaca. 69 in the morning, 79 in the afternoon. Cloud cover pretty much all day with light rain. Heaviest in the early part of the day, decreasing in the latter part of the day. In Cuero, 66 in the morning, 82 in the afternoon, still on the overcast side. And here we go. By the time we get to Wednesday night, really, most of the rain, the heaviest stuff will be over. And then Thursday, it does clear out. And then Friday night, perfect timing. Very nice cool front, cool northwest winds, bringing us low humidity and cooler temperatures for the coming weekend. That's your 7-day forecast. We want to remind everybody we do have a QR code. We'd love for you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Mr. Zach with all the sports.
Thank you, Mac. Well, the Astros trying to regain the lead. The Rangers go for the sweep and a trip to the ALCS. I'll have that in sports. The Bloomington Bobcat program walking around with their chest out these days, and for the first time in a while, they just broke a nearly decade-long losing streak in district, that is, with a big game coming up against Ganado. I was there yesterday, and the vibe and mentality of this program has changed dramatically. The Bloomington Bobcats won a district game for the first time in almost a decade, defeating Kennedy 44-30. Now everyone can excel a bit.
It's a funny thing. Nobody likes to focus on it when it's still happening. Now, when that sucker's over, everybody's excited as can be. For us to be able to, talk to the kids about where we're going to go and paint a picture of it. But a lot of times they really didn't know what that was going to look like yet.
The picture becoming more clear to the team and community now more than ever, as they now control their own destiny to making the playoffs after being looked down upon for so long.
Everything we've been working for, it all worked out. Before they'd just be like, oh, Bloomington's gonna lose again, but now they have hope in us, they have faith in us. They've been really helping out with stuff too, like events and stuff.
I always hear about people talking about down on Bloomington like in the previous years, like my freshman and sophomore year. There's nothing I could do about it because I was an underclassman and I didn't get much playing time. But now since junior and senior year, I get so much more playing time and I'm actually having impacts on every game. So I just see people not thinking that we're the laughing stock of the state, and now we're actually the big talk in other towns, talking about how Bloomington got good and stuff like that.
Hey, hold on, check, we spent 19.
Earlier this year, the Bobcats talked about investment in terms of effort from his team and wanting to get the community more involved. They've gotten a lot of that this year. Now they want to build something that lasts for years to come.
People won't quit if they have to invest a whole lot. And it's not necessarily like talking about quit the program. They won't quit a play, You get blocked, you won't stay blocked. You get knocked down, you won't stay knocked down. You miss a tackle, you won't sit there and pout.
I practice so hard every day because we have little kids that come out here, like our water boys and stuff like that. They see how hard we're working, so they know that you can win here at Bloomington, and it's not the same Bloomington from the past. And I feel like we've changed that culture a lot, in the past 2 years, for sure.
Big game in Bloomington this Friday when they play host to the Ganado Indians, who are 5-1 and undefeated in district play. And while we're on the topic of postseason, the Astros in action earlier today and scored early and often. They used a 4-run first inning, got a great outing from Javier, who only allowed a hit through 5 innings. The Astros now 1 win away from its 7th consecutive ALCS. Meanwhile, the Texas Rangers swept the Baltimore Orioles and have already advanced to the ALCS for the first time since 2011. By tomorrow evening, we could have a Lone Star ALCS showdown. American Olympic champion gymnast Mary Lou Retton has been admitted into hospital ICU and is fighting a very rare form of pneumonia, according to a social media post from her daughter, McKenna Kelly. Retton captured the hearts of Americans during the 1984 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. She won the women's all-around at the Summer Games when she was just 16 years old. Retton currently lives in Houston. And the MLB announcing that with the completion of the Rangers series, the Astros start time tomorrow, now at 6 p.m. That's it for your sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
All right, Zach, thank you. We have an update on an earlier story. The Amber Alert has been canceled. KETK-TV and Tyler reporting Tyler police have located Chase Lee and his 2 daughters at a hotel in Tyler. The girls reportedly safe and being returned to their mother, while Chase is being questioned by detectives.
Sure. Thank you, Don, and thank you, Zach. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we'll take a last look at your weather with Mac. Plus, the Writers Guild of America voted to ratify a new contract.
traveled to Wisconsin Monday to raise awareness about cancer. The First Lady arrived Monday night ahead of the Packers game. She attended an event filled with Packer fans who also support early detection for cancer awareness. The event supported the NFL's Crucial Catch initiative, which is a message aimed at early screening for cancer. At the event, Biden shared her own experience with cancer.
Where we stop cancer before it starts and we make treatments more affordable if it does. Where we catch it early and we help people to live longer, healthier, happier lives. And of all the things that cancer steals, time is the cruelest. The days spent in treatment, recovering from surgery, anniversaries and holidays missed, pages of photo albums unfilled. We can't afford to wait another minute for better solutions, better treatments, and better cures.
Bison also helped to promote the White House's Cancer Moonshot Project. It's an initiative with the goal to reduce the cancer death rate by at least 50% over the next quarter century.
The Writers Guild of America voted Monday to ratify a new contract ending the nearly 5-month strike. 99% of WGA's 8,000-plus members voted to ratify the contract, which will be in place through May 1st, 2026. In a statement, WGA West president thanked leadership, strike captains, and the staff for working to deliver the contract.
And we got some more rain tonight, Mac.
It was fairly light, but we did get something. I mean, it's great that we are going to be kind of misty and drizzly. It reminds us, it'll help us forget the summer of 23. So we're looking for cloudy, drizzly skies all day tomorrow, ending by late in the evening. Thursday, just a little bit left over. We'll still stay in the warm 80s, but it's Friday night, perfect timing, when we get a nice, cool, dry front blowing through here, giving us a very nice weekend. On Saturday, of course, the big eclipse, a total eclipse of the sun. Who wrote that?
Oh,
Fleetwood Mac, right?
Not me.
No. It'll come to me after the show. It always does.
Of course.
Well, a man who was stranded for 24 hours managed to alert emergency crews Sunday from a rock along a New Hampshire river. The patient who was stuck had suffered a leg injury. Crews rigged a rope system in order to make contact with the individual for evaluation. First responders helped him into a boat and took him to a nearby beach where an ambulance was standing by. He was taken to a hospital where he's expected to be okay.
Right.
Good news there. Alrighty. Well, thank you, Mac, and thank you, Dawn, and thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10.
Join Carolina Astroin, meteorologist Parker Cox. 25 News Now sunrise starting at 5 a.m. Good night, everybody.